The truth has a way of surfacing at the worst possible moment, and when it does, it feels like the ground opens beneath your feet. It happened on a quiet afternoon in rural Pennsylvania, inside a weathered barn that smelled of hay and old wood, when everything I had carefully hidden unraveled in a single heartbeat. The life I built on simplicity, silence, and sacrifice suddenly revealed a secret that could either destroy love or redefine it forever. Before the story pulls you deeper, take a moment and engage with this journey. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and love that goes beyond appearances, please like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Your support keeps stories like this alive. My name is Michael Carter, and for most of my adult life, I chose to live as a man with almost nothing. I worked odd jobs, repaired fences, cleaned stables, and fixed broken equipment for farmers who paid in cash and trust. I wore the same faded jeans for years, drove an old pickup that rattled like it might collapse, and rented a small room near the edge of town. People saw me as hardworking but unremarkable, a man surviving paycheck to paycheck. What no one knew was that I had deliberately stepped away from a life of wealth, privilege, and expectations that never felt like my own. I was born into a powerful family in New York, raised among boardrooms and glass towers, but after watching relationships rot under the weight of money and manipulation, I walked away. I wanted to know what love looked like when there was nothing to gain. That was when I met Rebecca Moore. Rebecca lived on her family's farm, just outside Lancaster, where rolling fields met endless sky. She was strong in ways that had nothing to do with physical power, waking before sunrise, working until her hands ached, and still finding warmth to give to others. She had been hurt before by people who promised stability but delivered disappointment, and life had taught her to rely on effort rather than hope. When our paths crossed, it was through simple routines, shared labor, and quiet understanding. There was no instant spark, no dramatic moment, only a gradual sense of safety that grew with every passing day. I never told her about my past. I told myself it was for the right reasons. I wanted to know if someone could love me for who I was when stripped of status and comfort. As weeks turned into months, and months into years, love settled between us like something natural and unforced. We married in a small church nearby, surrounded by friends who knew us as two ordinary people building a life from scratch. Those were the happiest days I had ever known, because nothing felt hidden then, even though everything was. The challenge came when my old life refused to stay buried. A legal matter tied to my family's business forced me to confront what I had abandoned. Papers arrived, phone calls followed, and one afternoon a black luxury vehicle appeared near the farm like a ghost from another world. Rebecca saw it before I did. The shock in her eyes wasn't about money or power, but about betrayal. She felt the distance instantly, the invisible wall I had unknowingly built between us. That evening, standing among hay bales and fading light, the truth came out. I explained my past, my inheritance, the fortune I had deliberately ignored, and the fear that if she knew, love would turn into something transactional. The silence that followed was heavier than anger. Rebecca made no accusations, no dramatic reactions. Instead, she withdrew into herself, questioning every memory, every struggle we had shared, wondering if it had all been an elaborate performance. The days that followed were the hardest of my life. She kept her distance, not out of cruelty, but confusion. Trust once shaken does not break loudly, it fractures quietly. I continued working the farm, fixing fences, feeding animals, and doing everything I had. Always done, because those actions were real, even if my past had not been. I realized then that love is not proven by grand gestures, but by consistency when everything else is falling apart. Slowly, change began to stir. Rebecca started noticing that nothing about me had actually changed. I still rose before dawn, still returned home exhausted, still treated every person with respect. The wealth I had hidden never appeared in my actions. One evening she saw me turn down an offer from my family's representatives to return to that life. I chose the farm, the work, and the uncertain future over comfort and control. That choice mattered more than any explanation ever could. Love, when tested, either dissolves or deepens. Ours did both before settling into something stronger. Rebecca eventually understood that my deception came from fear, not malice. She saw that I had given up everything tangible for something fragile and rare. Forgiveness did not arrive all at once, but it came in moments, in shared meals, in long walks through the fields, in hands brushing together without hesitation. Near the end of this journey, if this story is touching your heart, please take a moment to engage. Like the video, share it, and let us know in the comments if you believe love should be chosen over comfort. Your interaction truly means more than you know. The final turning point came not with words but with action. I legally signed away my inheritance, donating most of it to causes that help struggling families and small communities, like the one that had given me refuge. I kept nothing except the life I had built with Rebecca. When she saw that, she finally understood the depth of my choice. I had not pretended to be poor to deceive her. I had chosen to live simply to find something real. Before this story ends, I have a special request for you. Please comment below and share your thoughts on whether honesty should come before love, or if love can survive even the deepest secrets. Today, our life is still simple. We still live in the same place, still work with our hands, still wake up tired and go to bed grateful. Wealth never entered our home, but peace did, love did, and in the end, that was the only truth I was ever searching for.